Hey guys, it's Sam with BluTech, here filming a truck tour with Tekamo, and this is my 2023 F550 XLT with the Mueller service body, IMT crane, and Bobcat 265 air pack.
This truck tour is proudly sponsored by Mueller Coupes. They have a lot of new tools coming that we saw at SEMA. Pry bars, new pistol grip needle scalers, and their new impact ball joint socket kits. We like working with them so much, we collaborated on this air hammer, the Big Chooch, Tekamo colors, limited edition, only available on FortisHD.com.
Big yellow. I know, guys have come up to me and asked too. They were like, oh, do you guys have the Big Chooch on board? I'm like, what? Oh yeah, the air hammer. Yeah, no, we got the Big Chooch. Ooh, it's yellow. Yeah, no, I use this thing a lot actually. Tekamo branded too. Oh, that's dope. Limited edition. Looks like a pissed off bumblebee, honestly. Man, yeah, no, these things are great for knocking out huge ass pins and whatnot when you don't want to swing the 16-pound sledge overhead. What else do I use it for? That's gonna get cut. Yeah, I already have one of these guys. This is the one off the truck right now, and it still keeps going. But no, this one's sick. Love how it's yellow. Kimbo Chooches. Chooch times 2. Yeah, this one's limited edition, guys, so if you want to buy it, you can only buy it at Fortis HD. So get yours today. But I'm a hoarder, I'm sorry. This guy's super handy. I do put them on the wrench extender as well. Right up there. Get at it. Solid. They're like half the cost of the snap-on ones, so wooden cutlery, you always got to keep that on you. If you guys want to support the channel or buy the Big Chooch, either or is fine. You can buy them at FortisHD.com.
Follow Mueller Coupes, Fortis HD, and Tekamo on social media for new tool announcements and more. This truck tour is, am I yelling? Just loud with the rain. Look, now to the truck tour.
All right, this is my first cabinet, guys, where I keep most of the tools that I use every day. Top drawer, got all my 1/2-inch sockets up here, metric in front, standard in the back, and a little bit bigger of 1/2-inch standard. Got this Milwaukee stick light. This thing's been a trooper. Like, I stuck it to my own truck and drove up an FSR and came back down, left it on the truck for about a week. Finally found it when I was filling up my tires with air, still stuck to my to my frame. They make a pretty good light. It's got full LEDs on either side, and also the one pointer light. No matter really where you stick it, you can always see what you're doing for the most part. Junk drawer, it's just keys, do not start tags, not much, not exciting. Second drawer, it's all my magnets. A little bendy magnet. Sometimes the big fat one doesn't fit. Scrapers, all my Mueller metal scrapers. These are handy for gaskets, just like scraping off all the residue and everything that people like to use on other stuff. And I got the knives. Haven't really had a use for them, honestly, but they're still nice to have, just in case. Just big air checks. Little nozzle tips for my air gun. I'm missing one. I think my other one's on my air gun still, but pretty nice for like plugging ports and everything if you want to just shoot air into a system or what. Well, not a system, but you know. You know what I'm talking about. Next, we got screwdrivers, we got picks. All the snap-on ones, a lot better than other ones I've used. Like, I've had the Milwaukee ones, I've had Klein too, Craftsman. They just don't seem to fit the screw as nice as these ones do. I wouldn't say they don't strip, but you know, they're a lot harder to strip. O-ring spoons and O-ring picks over here. Honestly, all the snap-on ones, all the spoons, they're kind of my go-to. This is all you need is the one out of the 4 kit. Seriously, that's all I use for installing O-rings, taking out O-rings, whatever. They're nice because obviously they don't have a point. They're not going to nick anything. Got your bottle opener too. Mueller bottle opener. Scrapers, carbide scrapers. These, obviously you can tell I use them a ton. I love them. I've had the snap-on ones before too. Actually, I have one right here. You can tell this one's not really been used. It's just so fat. You can fit this, you can cram your hands into the really shitty spots on the front of timing covers and everything. A lot better with this one than that thick, girthy handle. I don't know if you're into that sort of thing, but I'm not. I don't know, I can do this even. Same with the smaller one here. Better for getting into spots, but. Next door down, Metric wrenches, extenders. Got the Mac wrenches. These have been pretty good, honestly. Man, I've had Craftsman. The Icon, not too bad, but it's not like you can get those up in Canada, so I had to smuggle them across the border for that. Where? They just feel nice in the hand. Like, same with the Snap-on ones. They feel nice. Again, shouldn't probably say they don't strip, but they're a lot harder to strip. Got the gear wrench, ratchet wrenches. Don't really like these because they just flop around and you can't tighten them. I think I've tried tightening them. Screw just strips in them. Like some of them that you don't use too often, they're still tight, but like the everyday ones, they just get floppier than an 80-year-old man. I got the bigger wrenches over there, got my line wrenches. Wrench extenders too, the Mueller wrench extenders. And I bought these long before. Not only are they good for wrenches, obviously, but like I can put them on my ratchets, my Allen keys, and anything else that I want to get loose. I got the step up from that, and I got an even bigger one in that cabinet too. Fortis HD. Next one, still wet from the other day. I need to glue these down. They just like skid across the bottom. But Imperial wrenches, I bought all Snap-on ones because I got a good deal on them. I still love them. There's obviously like better, cheaper ones that you can get out there, but the feel in the hand, can't beat it. Like I've had the Milwaukee ones too, and they're a lot shorter than the Snap-on ones. Gear wrench, flex head, ratcheting wrenches, 4-way angle wrenches. I know some guys are like diehard Snap-on for that, but I got the Tekton ones, and these honestly have been killer. Like they've been able to fit in every spot that I've wanted to cram them. Oh, that sounds wrong. What the wait. But they're like half the cost of the Snap-on ones, so they've been good. Next drawer down, socket drawer. This is like my main drawer I use. Left to right, I guess. Imperial sockets, you use them every once in a while. Mostly everything's metric now. Barring over tools, you got Cat, John Deere, got the pinning tool, Cat engines. I got these extended sockets from Snap-on because I was like, ooh, they'd be nice for like boost clamps and stuff. I used them like maybe once. Snap-on universal impact sockets. These paired with the little M12 Milwaukee stubby, love that. You can shove it in everywhere. I've used them for taking out 90 H and K transmissions. So that paired with my M12 stubby, like I could take off pretty much the entire freaking transmission with just that 2 combo. And you got the adapters, 3/4 swivel. That's like a ticking time bomb, honestly. Pro point too, so probably blow up in my face eventually, but not yet. Oh, these little guys. It's just like a 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch adapter, but all sides are machined flat. Good for taking off drain plugs and everything, not rounding them out. Once you shove it onto this guy, like you got the ball dent to fight and everything. At least this guy just slips in and sits in there nice. PPM 516A. These have been wicked too. Get them all out. They're little step up impact adapters. And they're super stubby too, like they go into the head. 1/4 to 3/8, 3/8 to 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch to 3/4. Space is limited on the truck, so it's not like you're gonna carry 3/8 or the 1/2 inch of like every freaking kind of impact gun. So you can shove one of these on there, get into the spot, and they don't take up a hell of a lot of space. So those are nice. Got a ton of ratchets. I'm a hoarder, I'm sorry. My go-to ratchet for a long time was a Snap-on one with the locking head. I loved it until I got the Koken one. She can buy it at Fortis as well. So not only is like the head smaller on this guy, so I can shove it into spots, it's also got a detent, which I love. Like usually I might have one. These ones piss me the fuck off. I don't know why I still got them on here, but I hate like the really freaking loose swivel heads on these because I don't know, I can shove into spots because I'm a skinny guy. Every time I try to one-hand something, this always fucks off on me. You know what really grinds my gears? Takes a lot of force just to move that guy. It's like the wacky waveable inflatable tube man, you know, that you see? This one, of course, it's kind of the same style, but obviously a lot more well built, so it stays where it needs to. GDM shit, man. I've had this one for probably almost a year now, and obviously used it for a lot more things than it probably should have been used for, like hammering and stuff, but don't tell other people that. Like when I say that I've beat the shit out of it, I have. Like I've used it as a hammer a couple of times too, and everything's a hammer. It's held up. Like I haven't had the grip slip or twist or swell up or anything like that like you've got on all the other ones. Comfy to hold, doesn't take up a whole lot of room. That's my go-to. Koken one, this one is a 3726Z-280. Everyone loves those ones. This guy's super handy. Not only is it a fidget spinner, but for getting around corners and everything, it locks. Again, super handy for even flange fittings and everything, bending around corners, other stuff that you don't want to take off. This is F80MP. I don't really carry chrome sockets. You never use chrome. Honestly, like chrome don't get you home. Like all these are snap-on, yeah, but I haven't really had an issue with putting them on stuff and them not fitting, or you're just too close to stuff. You probably get that more in the automotive industry. I know it's like pretty pimp to have the whole freaking drawer all filled with sockets and everything, but when you're already cresting the weight limit of this thing, got to keep it light. Impact extensions, snap-on, gear wrench, 3/8. Those have been great for me. Next drawer down, plier drawer. Like I've got an organizer in here, but it's really just for show, I guess. Half the time you just grab what you need and then throw it back. Getting out of a job site at 11 o'clock at night or something. I've got the big fuck off, how do you say it? Knipex again? They're handy for moving when they don't want to move. They open up super wide. I'm all the way down to the little baby pair too. You versus the guy she told you not to worry about. They're handy for when you're in a freaking really tight spot again. Either a bolt's just like stripped out so you can't get a socket in there, or a wrench doesn't fit or something. Hand right up there, get at it. Right in there. I'm gonna be saying that a lot. Like, I don't know, the less that you gotta pull off, the better in my opinion. It's never a race to take off as much as you can. More of a game just to take off as little as you can to get to the part. So got these, totally forget the name of them. Great for when you're going into like a pit or something where you gotta haul down just a tool bag. These are kind of your do-it-all wrenches, so you don't have to carry every single size with you for taking off hydraulic lines. I do put them on the wrench extender as well. Again, down into a hole, you gotta make it work. These have been handy as hell. They're the adjustable needle nose for even electrical work, honestly, like pulling off relays and fuses and stuff. You just pack one of those up because they're always seized in there. Longer needle nose. These Craftsmans, man, I've had them for ever since I like actually started working on my own shit. Parents got me a big set of like Craftsman tools, and they've held up. RIP Sears. Oh, the flush cuts. One of the biggest things with me getting hired here was to use flush cut on zip ties, because he hates it when people leave those little edges, because the next person is probably you. These have been great because they're small, they tuck into your hand. I've used this a couple of times for getting off exhaust manifold bolts, because usually they're seized in there. And if you got enough room, this is nice. You shove it on your air hammer, and then you shove a wrench on here, and while you're hammering, you turn it, and it can usually break off the corrosion that's built up in there. Oh, this is Mueller as well. These are useless as tits on a bowl. And half the time they don't even grab the wire. These have been great. Strips up to 12 gauge, down to 20. Crimper stripper. The only thing I don't like about these is it's just like the manufacturing design or what, but they don't crimp as hard as I'd like it to for the non-insulated. I just use the bare crimps and then heat shrink on top of that. PWC S7ACF. Got my air hammer bits in here too. They don't really fall under the plier category, but if anyone knows me, they know I like to use my air hammer because I don't want to swing a sledge every single day. So I've got a pretty good collection of air hammer bits, I'd say. Knocking out pins or whatever you want. I like my bits. They're your best friend. These I just picked up, cheapo, like the pinch off pliers. These have worked a lot better than these metal ones, because these metal ones, yeah, this one's Blue Point. They just don't bite as hard. And if you're taking off like 5/8 coolant lines on def injectors, these don't crimp for shit for those tiny lines, but these ones do. Probably throw these ones out now that I know that these ones work, but just pick these ones up. You can't tell what they're for. These have been handy, especially for the quick connect style of fitting, I guess. I don't know. That they put on like the def injectors and fuel lines sometimes too, where you got to pinch them. If anyone's dealt with them, usually they know that they're a pain in the dick as well. So that's why I got these. And the nice thing is that they obviously like rotate to wherever you need them to be. So you can pinch the top of the line off, take it off, check the def injector, fuel lines, whatever you want. Pretty sure that they use these in surgery, I think, for like pinching off stuff. Handy as though for getting out bolts or screws or whatever you do that you drop into wherever. You can just get in there, pinch it, and then they lock too. You might ask yourself, why the hell do I have scissors on here? They're nice for cutting gasket material. They've been able to cut through most things, super sharp. They've cut other people too on accident. Not for me doing it, but common theme with this truck is that hammers, pry bars, punches, yeah, heel bars and everything else. Like my go-to hammer is this 32 ounce and it's still holding up, but this is my like everyday hammer. You just grab this. Too tight of a spot, then you get the smaller one. If really not moving, you get the 50 ounce. And if you don't want to damage the face, then you get the soft face dead blow. This one's made by Impact Poly. Nice thing about these ones, I don't know what the heck they're made out of, but if you've used the ones from like, I don't know, KMS or Princess Auto, you know the ends always blow out of them. The faces all get torn up, even like the snap-on one. Like I've got the bigger snap-on one and you can see like the faces always get torn up. Eventually they just split and fall apart. But this one hasn't. Well, yeah, this one's definitely older, but you get it on an edge of something and just like fucks up the end. This one doesn't. Like, you can see where it's tried, but yeah, no, it's been great for it. I've even got like the bigger sledge version too on the truck, which has been super handy. I thought I got a bigger one, but extendable heel bar. Yeah, this one's gear wrench. Last drawer, all my power tools. Some of my batteries up here. I like my power tools. I like my Milwaukees. This little guy, this is like the new version of their 3/8 stubby. This one I just use like day to day. Like I love this one. You get the high output battery on there and it just kicks ass. I forget what they call it, like the bull ring or something like that. I don't know. It goes on the anvil. Those get worn out so the sockets slip off, and if you're not careful and you're flinging it around, then the socket fucks off into Neverland. Also picked up the new die grinder too, because this last right angle one, like you can tell even with like how it surges. And it stalls out half the time too. It's possessed by demons. Still have it on here because it's nice to dual wield sometimes. You want to sand and grind at the same time. Also, if you're too lazy to put on different bits, you just keep them on that one. I got the new style though. A lot better, a lot stronger. Doesn't stall out from what I've been able to do on it. Like even if you got a Dremel bit on there, it just eats. 1/2 inch too. You get the Forge batteries on these and they just kick ass. Just because the battery was falling out of my old one, which this one's been updated to where they've got the swivel protection impact. It moves with the battery, so you're not losing connection. Yeah, no, this one's been great. Like ever since I was doing low voltage, like most of the guys that were in that trade, like they all had Milwaukee, Ryobi as well, but I mean, I've had my little hacksaw too. Nicer to have it one-handed so you can just plop bits on here and cut off catalytic converters that you want to steal on the fly. Yeah, my little ratchet. This one's been a trooper. I've been wanting to upgrade to the new style. It's so expensive nowadays. And this one just has enough power to like still throw your freaking hand around, get it pinched in somewhere. One that I just picked up was this flathead angle grinder. Definitely a lot better to shove into spots, especially if you're welding in like a little crevice or whatever. The head's obviously a lot flatter. I don't know how I feel about the paddle ones. If you're grinding for a long time, then you'll just go to a quartered one, plug it into the welder. It's got the rapid stop too, which, I mean, all new ones I guess do, but stops on a dime compared to these. I don't really care about, but I guess some safety guy somewhere wanted that. Playing Tetris with this drawer though, 'cause, I got the snap-on air hammer. This thing's been a trooper. The only thing that is a complaint, I guess, is that just this unscrews eventually. Probably one that's better, obviously, but sometimes these drawers don't like to shove back in through their homes. I don't know if they get locked or what. I think this one does it. Probably like that. It gets locked halfway out, and sometimes it doesn't even want to frickin' close. Of course, it's working fine now, but whatever. I didn't cover these. These have been nice. They're custom molded to earplugs. I realized afterwards they got like Sully from Monsters Inc. colors, but these are great. Like, especially when you're wearing a hard hat, you can just throw these in. You only have 2 ears. Protect them. Oh, I got the bowls, the magnetic bowls. These are nice, especially if you're doing like a big job. You just shove them wherever. Obviously, I'm aluminum, so they're not going to stick, but we can imagine. If you're leaving for the day, obviously just take it down, throw it in the cab of whatever you're working on, and leave it for the apprentice to f up next. No.
Straight into the end zone. Hey, be sure to stick around because we're only getting warmed up.
Second drawer here. Got all my consumables up top. Cram whatever you can into this truck. Just a pumper bottle of brake clean. Still got the old formula. Still flammable. Loctite. We've got ether, which I don't really like using. A micro leak detector. Super handy for when you're doing AC on systems. Obviously, it doesn't come in this. I can't remember the name of the actual stuff. When you're filling up a system with nitrogen and you're checking for leaks, you just spray this on everything and it shows the tiniest amount of leaks. Super handy also for air seats if you're trying to find a leak on those. Soapy water works too, but this one just shows the smaller leaks. Cram that back in there. Welcome to my crib. What? I keep a little thing of liquid electrical tape on me. It's handy for if you just find like a little rub through wire or something that's obviously not corroded and you just want to patch it up. Got your little bottle of oil too that's leaking out. Handy for assembly. Usually I've got a little thing of Molly coat, like 111 too. It's really tacky. Doesn't like shear away like oil. Obviously you can squish it away, whatever. For those like plastic water separators, the bottoms on the filters, those O-rings, they're usually a cunt to take off or put back on, but you just spread a little bit of that on and you can usually put it all the way on by hand so you're not fighting it or cracking it. Top drawer is a little bit empty because I just got my calipers, Princess Auto, Pro Point. It works. How accurate it is, who knows? It's been good enough for me. Got the snap-on feeler gauges, got the handle on them if you're setting valve lash or whatever. And it comes with like pretty much everything you need. You got your sizes here, you got your go, no-go ones, you got your normal flat ones and your angled ones. Always good to have. Refractometer too. Good for testing depth quality. If you're having emissions codes, which you'll probably have because they're really common. No. Get it out of here. You just take like a little sample from the depth system, preferably like, I'd say bottom of tank because like usually people can put the new right on top. If you take from bottom, you get a more accurate sample. Squirt a little bit on the lens here, hold it up to your eye like you're a pirate, and then you can see the quality of depth. Next one, Allen keys, sockets and Allen keys. Got my 3/8 ones, just got my little stubby shorty Allen keys. Handy for adjusting reliefs on valve blocks. Cram them into whatever spot that they can find. I know people cut them off, but at least this one's got a ball end, so you don't have to be straight on. Extended Allen sockets in here too. These ones are nice because they don't have ball ends, so they're not gonna strip out. They will twist and break though, if you put enough force on them. A metric and imperial, the gear wrench, extended ball ones. Next one down, the drawer that you'd probably least likely to want to use. You got your extractor bits in here. Gear wrench ones work pretty well. Left-handed drill bits, rivets, files. I don't see why people spend like big money on tool branded ones. These ones are just power fister ones. They get the job done. Next one, I only got my torch in here because my electrical drawer is pretty full. This one's all my crow's feet. Got all the Tecton 1/2 inch big crow's feet. I can usually like bring these along too, like in a backpack, just with a 1/2 inch ratchet and take off most hydraulic lines. Got the smaller crow's feet, and then I got these torque adapters. I don't really use them for torquing stuff down. They're more or less just for taking off flange fittings on cats. Usually it's only the 16 and 18. Then I've got 15 16ths, 24 mil, even bell housing bolts too. I've used that for that. But the Mueller ones too, metric. I haven't used these a ton, but the couple of times I have. A lot better for gripping all sides, because obviously this one only grips the 2. This one grips as much as it can. And we're getting more into the electrical testing. You'd think you'd open it like this, but it's a little electrical cleaner kit. Clean your Deutsch pins or just terminals. These ones are a little diamond bitted cleaning out terminals. You just pinch it on there, give her the old rub and tug back and forth, and usually she's clean enough. Relay bypass kit. If you're trying to diagnose something, it's nice just to have the system turned on. So you can plug this in. It comes with a bunch of different adapters. One that you use the most is this one. Just click it on, the system turns on. If you can't test it through the dash or your computer or whatever. It's got a little loop just for testing amps too. Yeah, no, these have been handy. Like fuel pumps and stuff. Another relay test jumper. You just plug them into the spot where the relay goes. Plug the relay on top, and then you can test each individual pin for what's it doing. Got these Deutsch jumper test kits too. These have been super handy plugging into pins. So you can plug it in on the male or female side, and then just have alligator clips on the other side. So if you want to disconnect something, but also have it like connected on the other side, you just have it like that, and then you can test. Comes with a couple of different sizes, but usually yellow ones are the ones they use the most. This one's like the most common. I have ran into a couple of ones where you can shove these in. Even if they're not Deutsch, you can shove them in. Shove it where it fits. Got board cleaners too, cleaning out injector holes. They're soft. You're not gonna scar anything. I guess this one would probably be the bottom of the injector hole. Next, electrical testing. Do a lot of it. A good multimeter is worth its weight in gold. I mean, I've got the Milwaukee one, and you can see the screen, even the bright or whatever. It's nice. It's lit up. You can see it. Well, I still do have the snap-on one. That one dies so quick. I don't know, you can't. Of course, it's dead. Oh yeah, also I bought the snap-on leads. They come with little screw tips, and you can get alligator clips or these little back probes. Just screw on there because, oh man, it's got Bluetooth and everything like that. But I had that multimeter for 8 to 10 months, and it was in warranty for 6 months. And then also you can't see shit when it's bright out. The screen sucks ass on that one. Another tool that's handy for diagnosing electrical is a thermal imager. Handy for AC, diagnosing whatever. I got this one. I had cheaper ones. I just wanted a better one because I use it a lot. Let me see if it can do it. Yeah, you can sort of see it there. I don't know. It takes a long time to boot up and get the data on there, but this one I've only used like a couple of times. Honestly, multimeter kind of does it better. It's supposed to check for amp draws. You got all your other terminals, you got little fuse clips, and then you got your little probes there. Plug it in, you select the type of fuse that you're plugging into, or you set it. It shows you how much of an amp draw it is, and that's kind of nice because then you don't have to disconnect the system, because like you're supposed to check for amp draws while disconnecting the battery and everything. You don't have to do it with that one. Got my amp clamp, testing charging systems, see how many amps it's drawing. This has been handy as fuck. What the hell do they call this thing? ES Load Pro. So basically what this guy does, you just plug it into your multimeter, and then you can put it onto like a system that you're testing, and then it puts, I think, 0.5 amp of load on it, so you can test the wiring to make sure that you're getting the proper amps to whatever you're testing, because you can test a system and it obviously shows good voltage, but if there's like a couple of wires broken in it, you can't tell. But with this, you can, which is pretty nice. It's kind of like putting a light bulb on there. Lots of the old guys, they used to do that. They'd have a little thing set up with light bulbs. This is 2025. We got technology. Switch to bumping over starters, whatever. We got a soldering iron. Don't use it a hell of a lot. Deutsch crimpers. I thought this would be handy. One-handed test light. So you're supposed to be able to like touch the system and then ground yourself, and it's supposed to light up. I was like, oh man, that's awesome when I saw it on the truck, and then it's been sitting in my toolbox for all this time. Next one down Die grinder drawer. Sometimes the electric one doesn't kick it, so you gotta have a big flappy wheel on here. Smaller ones. Filter cutter tool. She fits, she sits. That's a good diagnostic tool too. If you're skeptical about a system, fuel, oil, hydraulic, whatever, cut open the filter, visually see if it's clean, if it's not. Makes a mess every time. Got the little Mueller eraser too. This one's kick-ass. Doesn't blow apart like the Princess Auto ones do. Had that a couple of times. Just for removing decals if you don't want to hurt the painted surface or whatever. Handy to have. Little die grinder bits. I don't know where you get them. It says PTA Canada. Every time I've used these, they stayed sharp. They've demolished whatever I'm putting in there. They haven't chipped any teeth. Like I've had the Princess Auto ones. Those have been good for like a little bit, but eventually you get little teeth blowing off. I don't know if I got any here. No, I think I threw those ones out because they were just skipping. Least interesting drawer. Colored zip ties. Got my foil tape in here too for covering stuff. Shoving rags into holes isn't the best solution. The colored zip ties are nice too for marking lines or whatever you're taking off. Zip ties. Toothpicks. You can use them as toothpicks. My dad uses this old zip tie as a toothpick. And final drawers. It's all my big sockets, big 3/4. I've got my 1-inch metric sockets in there too. I don't even know what brand these are. They've been good. Yeah, that's it for drawer 2. Moving on to the next drawer here. I love having the table on the side. Put down whatever you want, a little workbench. It's my big wrench drawer. You don't really need anything fancy for the bigger ones. You're not gonna break it. I do have my bigger 4-way angle wrenches in here from Tekton as well. Got the bigger wrench extender too. Extendable 3/4 ratchet. Usually you're using impact for these guys for 3/4. Just clamps and stuff. Next one, my flappy discs and everything in here. Sanding discs. These guys, these just eat material. They've been awesome compared to the other cheaper brands, but you got mechanics wire. All the rest is just consumables and stuff. So you got like weather pack plugs, fuses, P-clamps, grease nipples, penis plugs. Shove it in the tip. Other blow molded packs. These have been wicked. Put this on this side so you always think like, oh yeah, that's the top. And then fucking open it. It's like, honestly, I think everyone should have these, especially in this trade, because Allens are everywhere. These ones don't strip. They've got all these flutes on them so that they bite into the material that you're taking off. Wicked for final drive plugs, because I had to fight some of those. If I didn't have these, then probably have to weld onto them or something. But like even with heating the case, beating it with a hammer, and me standing on my ratchet to take these off, these haven't stripped. This one is soaked in gear oil, so that's why it's all squishy. That's why it smells bad too. It's really burnt gear oil that came shooting out. Flange caps. I didn't even know these were a thing before you guys. So nice to have. Before, man, you either had to drain the entire system out to remove components or try and cap them off with whatever scrap metal you got laying around and make a cap. What's nice about these two is that they even have the sides for the male and female side. So put that on the one side, clamp it, caps it off, put that on the hose end, seals that. A bigger set too, like a master kit. For the most part, this is all that you need. Buy those on Fortis as well. I know they've been plugged a lot because they work, they're good. I mean, up top here, I've just got my crimpers for my lugs and my tap and die set. Get in. I had to put these on there. That frickin' shoots out, and then you got taps and dies frickin' everywhere over the ground. Just got snap ring kit. Oh, this little guy. This is handy. It's a combustion leak detector. It's green right now, but if you aerate it, well, that's too much. Jesus Christ. I'm making dreads right now. Just give me a second. You need to take my Swedish. Lots of people don't get that reference. That's from Austin Powers. I mean, I'm not gonna do it till it's crystal clear blue, but if you aerate it enough, you can just keep reusing this fluid. This is nice because if you're looking for like a combustion leak, put this on your cooling system. Shove it on there, you run it, you give this a couple of pumps. If it turns, I think it's green for diesel, yellow for gas systems. Then you can tell either if it's the head gasket or the EGR that might be leaking. You can tell if it's just got a problem within the system. Nice, quick, little easy test. Puke and white smoke out of the exhaust. That's also an indicator. Sometimes it's not that easy, especially with all the after treatment. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't really use that too much. driver for bearings or whatever. Doesn't get used a hell of a lot. This one's just a little injector puller. Master bit set, carry it with you, put it in your backpack, whatever. Just has all the freaking bits so you don't have to scrounge around for screwdrivers. There's a lot of cat stuff. The older stuff uses Torx for all their like interior bolts and whatever. This is a stupid multimeter. The only reason I keep it around right now is for the Bluetooth, so you don't have to have leads freaking strung off all over the place. It's kind of junk in my opinion. Shouldn't have bought it. EEDM596F. I don't know, you can't. Of course it's dead. Every time I've had to use it, the battery light comes on. Just a small little puller set, handy for like alternator pulleys. Whatever you want, really, because a lot of new alternators, they don't come with the pulley that you need, so you gotta take the old one off. Power probe. Yeah, well, you can tell how much it's used. You gotta connect it to the battery and then freaking have it strung out everywhere. And I don't like injecting power into systems because like half the time you're trying to figure out how the system works, and if you start plugging power into whatever you find, you're gonna have a bad time. This is just super strong twine, I think. I don't know the actual name for it. When I was doing data for pulling cables and stuff, just across ceiling tiles, it's super strong. I just like it for if you got a hydraulic line to route around. Tie this to the end of it, you pull it out, you could pull the new one in, works good. Refiller kit, can't say I've used it too much. I know some guys love it. Rethreading kit. Kind of nice if you don't want to pull the tap and dies out, and if the hole's like still good, but you just need to clean it up. Just use these. Also, you can just slap a socket on it. Got the thread files in it. Gauges for nitrogen. Well, the coolant pressure test. I've learned if I've ever touched the cooling system to always pressure test it afterwards, because the one time you don't, it's gonna have a leak. Because even like running around, just trying to warm it up, you know, obviously don't build the same amount of pressure that you would pumping it up. Different adapters in here just for cat screw-on systems, standard stuff. You can also test caps as well. Sometimes one of those stupid little plastic clips on doors, half the time they're like a one-time use. If you got the space for it, just works better than having plastic clips. Just nitrogen test kit, refiller. This impact driver. Really nice for if you ever have like a stuck Allen head, whatever, plug your socket onto that. Most of the time it comes loose. I think I bought this when I was like in level 2 still. I don't know why I bought the snap-on one. And then I never used it for like 2 years or 3 years. Ever since being in the truck, I've been using it more often, so it's finally paid itself off, I'd say. It's not as bad as the toolbox that I just have sitting in the shop right now. Oh man, I bought that toolbox and I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna set me up for my career. I'll have like plenty of room to grow. And then like I think I was filled up within a year. Well, I definitely want to move into a service truck, so so now it just sits at the shop pretty empty. Got the old Testong borescope. It's got the little bendy tip on her. Good quality if I have the cap off. And it's small enough to go into injector bores, sometimes glow plugs. A lot smaller. I know the Milwaukee ones are like pretty big, and plus they don't have the bendy tip like this one. Like that's just nice. Like you can 180 see around corners. You can bend it back and like look at the valves too if you're in the cylinders. Yeah, a really nice tool to have. For a certain function on this Bobcat wasn't working. It's nice to have this guy because you can scope it right into where the spool went and you can see all the debris left behind. Move down a shelf here. Got big cotter pins, O-ring kits, Walter White funnel. Testing how much def injectors are flowing because I know sometimes they ask for that. Little custom stuff that I've made throughout the years. That I think is for my Milwaukee batteries if I ever want to power something. Odds and ends for testing stuff. Before I had those little jump kits, one of the guys I worked with, he made one of these and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Like 2-pin Deutsch plugs, but they've got like the exposed crimps on the end, so you can just crimp onto those, test the system. Super handy to have. Got all my Deutsch kits underneath there. More O-rings. Got my Imperial 1-inch sockets. Most of the time it's all metric anyways. Not really too much of a use for that. Little map gas torch, heating up stuff if you don't want to take out the oxy torch. Gotta hurry the f up now. The wings are blowing. I can feel it in my bones. There ain't much in here, just basic stuff. So last cabinet on this side, got my evac system for oil. Doesn't suck as well as it should, like most married couples. It's definitely nice to have, so you don't have to have like pails of oil just like strewn out through the back of your truck. Carries like 200 liters, I think. Just got my aerial, my crane controller, hydraulic outriggers, which are so nice to have when they don't leak. That's because they put the seals in upside down. They were just pissing out. That was from the manufacturer, by the way. Just air tools, one of my favorites. The big chooch, brand new shiny one, Bumblebee. Got all the bits and stuff on the other side, but love that. Air wands and stuff. I've got this long guy for blowing out rads. It's nice to do on services. Air holes are just on this side. Shove it in and blow out rads. Get out all the dust, because usually they complain about overheating, but they never blow out their rads. This guy's actually limited edition. It's a lot nicer to have instead of swinging 16-pound sledge overhead if you're trying to beat out pins. If you're even doing undercarriage too, I know beating out the track pins is usually a chore and a half. Also taking out the top rollers too, because usually they get seized in. Just slide this in the back, eat the fuck out of it. You can get yours on Fortis HD. She's limited edition. It's got the Tekamo branding. It's got the big chooch on the side of it. Sick. Even on the handle too, that's pimp. Pimp is. So the crane is IMT, 5,000 pound. It's had its problems. Like I've got another one sitting in the shop right now for this truck. Once that goes on, then it'll be a lot better, but it's done its job. I've got the lights on it. I think Brandon put those on, but those have been handy. Especially hanging my pipeliner's cloud from the top of it when it's pissing rain like this. Moving on to the back. I don't get why all the American guys don't have covered dog houses. It just protects everything inside, and I guess they probably don't get as much rain as we do, but I don't know what you're talking about. The weather's nice over here. I mean, I'd like the bumper to be a little bit bigger, but that's something I can modify later on. Left side, just fire extinguisher, garbage can, come-alongs, your third hand. Got a couple of different sizes of those. This is where all my heartfelt feelings are. Big pry bars, my pipeliner's cloud, just the 8-foot one. I need to find like a different way to store it, but like the top is all pretty filled in. Kind of sucks that the def tank's like all the way at the back of this thing, so like you gotta crawl all the way back there, open it up, and then fill it up. It's not something that I have to do like too often, but wah wah. My steak is too juicy, my lobster's too buttery. The Mueller Bobcat 265, the air pack. This one's the new one. It's got the big screen on it. It's really nice. Your air pressures, your kick out, your weld lead length. Well, it's got the jump feature too, which has been handy, 12 and 24 volt, because it sucks trying to jump 24 volt with only 12. Yeah, no, that thing's been awesome actually. It's great to weld with. Great for all my air tools too. It's been able to keep up. Welding reels, it's a lot better than having them all coiled up in the back of your truck. Kind of sucks in case a crackhead steals them. We're just gonna turn the truck around and then we're gonna go do the other side. So coming into this back cabinet here, got all my straps, gouging rods, welding rods, straps, shackles, whatever. This thing I saw on your guys' channel and I instantly was like, I need one of those. It's super handy for setting up for like line boring or whatever. Just doing a lot of sitting around and waiting for that. It's nice to have. Tiny bottle jack in there, welding magnet. Ta-da. I've got the Milwaukee vacuum in here. It's actually strong enough to like put on to some hydraulic tanks if you don't want to have the fluid pissing out everywhere. Throw a vacuum on it. Got the little air tips for it too. Little custom ones for sucking out holes, getting into little spots. Got my hydraulic test gauges in this case. Milwaukee fan, I love this thing too. Especially on the hotter days, you just set that up, especially with the pipeliner's cloud. Pretty much got AC. Got my old big chooch on this side. This one's all beaten, still chooching. Get yours on Fortis. Yeah, no, I love this thing. Got my bits and stuff just floating around in here for it too. I need to find a better spot for it. Yeah, they make more bits than this, but other than like the really long one, that's like one of the ones that I still need. These have been kick-ass and they don't mushroom out like the other ones. Like I know with like the smaller style of air hammer bits, I've had the Princess Auto ones. They mushroom out, you keep sharpening them and everything. Even with beating the fuck out of these ones, they don't mushroom as easily. Yeah, they're also hex head. I don't know why. Oh, so it doesn't rotate. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's pimp. Yep. I just got extra hoses to keep on here. Heater line, fuel line, whatever. A vacuum line. Nothing too crazy. This is just kind of a mess. You just keep whatever you can on the truck, so you just gotta make it work with what you got. Battery kit, extractor bit set, drawers, plugs, caps, butt plugs. Got a couple of different sizes of butt plugs for taking either spools or solenoids out of stuff. Plug it off with that. Extra odds and ends. Raining sideways, like it always does. Is it normal if it's pissing rain like 9 months out of the year? Yes. So you gotta have like good rain gear. It also helps having gum boots too. Like I usually just wear Red Wings. Having gum boots for the really sloppy, mucky days is nice. And also that pipeliner's cloud, the sun or the rain, whatever, hang it from the crane. Moving on to the next cabinet here, torch cabinet, retractable hose leads up here, extension for when it's really far away. Got the shades on, so cool. The one thing I don't like about how the Mueller box is set up is that they've got their own kind of system for storing bottles, and you're supposed to have the bottles like both tucked up sideways in there. I need to get rid of this and put an E-track, but got my welding helmet, got my waifu on the side.
Wait, what? On the inside?
Yeah. Can you see that? Why? So you know who you're fighting for. Moving on. Just got my puller rods in the back and like bigger stuff, bigger pipe wrench and breaker bar, whatever. Got the big version of the soft face. There is customers out there that have like really nice machinery, and so obviously they don't want to have big dent marks in the side. That's where this comes in handy. Got my little 8-pound sledge hammer handle on it. Really handy to have, honestly. Like I like how they include the little mount here for your torch. Little strikers in that pouch. It's nice to keep everything organized too. Be able to find where everything is. Oh yeah, and track shovel too, because 9 out of 10 operators do not clean out their tracks. Moving on to the next cabinet here. Coolant, oil, Standardine coolant funnel kit. You can plug it onto top if it fits. It's mostly automotive style that like uses all the fittings in there, but sometimes it works. It's nice for filling up coolant systems, just purging out all the air in it. Torch regulators, a little cap for testing your air systems for like checking for boost leaks and stuff. So I've got another one on the other side, just got a little air fitting in it. Charge it up to whatever and then spray that micro leak detector on it. More consumables, hose clamps, zip tie styles, electrical connectors, all your butt crimps and stuff, more fuses. I also got these Mueller magnets, more than I probably would ever need, but for hanging gauges up on machinery like AC gauges, hydraulic test gauges, reels of wire, welding blankets, got tarps. Got my little grease gun here. The Milwaukee one's been badass. It's little plastic caps and plugs. Plug off whatever you want, really, I don't know. Little pistol style proto. Very air hungry, this guy, but it kicks ass. Like, I know the other ones with a D handle style. This one with enough air does the job. It does the job for taking out counterweight bolts, track bolts. I bought one of these guys because if you ever lose like a little screw or something in the gravel, you're staring at the gravel for like 30 minutes. It's magnetized, but also you can pull it away. It's more or less used for cleaning up chips off of benches and stuff, but it's kind of nice just to have like a little magnet wand detector and stuff. This, we just got like a little mini porta power kit in here. It's got other attachments and stuff, but it's got like a little pancake porta power, 4 tons. Really handy to have, honestly, for really tight spots, because like you're not gonna be plugging in this thing everywhere. It's got a couple of other fittings and everything, styles of rams in there. Hollow ramp, 30 ton, pulling out pins, jacking up machinery, works the same. It's pretty scary once it actually gets up to 30 tons because moaning and groaning the entire time, and you're just kind of stand crouched behind something like wondering when she's gonna blow or pop out. I've had pins fly off with the hydraulic porta powers like this, and they've smashed through cabinets and other things that were in the way. Scary to use, but nice to have. That's just extra bolts and stuff like trackpad bolts, whatever. Extra oil just to carry on board. Nothing too crazy. This is the cab. It's where all the magic happens. You spend a lot of your day driving in this line of work. Starting off on the door here, I got wooden cutlery. You always got to keep that on you because a lot of time you just eat takeout or whatever and they don't include cutlery anymore. Data SD card on there. Got all my spare coveralls just hanging here. Diagnostic laptop. Then my big speaker. Half the time you're just working by yourself and no one else around, so you gotta listen to Katy Perry. Little power inverter. Powers all my power tools and everything on the truck. And this is a must. Big old Bubba jug. You go through so much water, especially in the summer, even in the winter too. When you're working hard, you drink a lot of water, so it's definitely nice to have one of these big Bubba jugs. This one has the parts breakdown, super badass. Lots of people have asked where I got this. You can get yours at Fortis HD as well. behind all my coveralls, but all my diagnostic connectors. So you got Cat, you got John Deere case, and then I got like a generic one that like should plug into everything. Got my hard hat hanging up there. Got my torque wrench in there too. It's nice to have the digital ones, especially with doing angles, because like when you're doing a ton of head bolts all in a row and they all require torque to yield angles, especially when this thing keeps counter of all the bolts that the torque. Just keep that inside, keep it out of the elements. I keep the batteries out of it too, because sometimes you go a long time without using this guy. You don't want the batteries just leaking out of it. I was running just a single cab for a while too. It's a lot nicer just to have the extended cab. Center console just holds an extra pens and pencils. Then I just got my work laptop underneath there for all my paperwork. And underneath that, I usually keep my snacks in there because sometimes you work late or you just don't have time to stop for lunch. So it's nice just to keep like a protein bar on you and just munch away on that. And that's your lunch or dinner sometimes. Radios, and I want to fit a subwoofer in here eventually. A little bit higher trim package, like it's got the bigger screen on there and CarPlay. That's the cab. All right, guys, that's my truck. Thanks for checking it out. If you got any questions, comments, or concerns about my truck, just leave it down below. Remember to subscribe. If you guys want to support the channel, you can buy this limited edition Big Chooch at FortisHD.com.
Thanks to Mueller Coops for sponsoring this truck video. You can get their full line of tools at FortisHD.com, including the new Tekamo Big Chooch, only available on FortisHD.com.
Just shove it down the coveralls. Just pull it out. Wow. Goblin. Hey guys! Been working there for or no, I haven't been. What the fuck? I've been here for 10 years. Hey guys, it's Sam with fucking gosh.